My name is Sterling Byassee. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2016. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. When I was advised that it seemed like the best protocol for me would be surgery, I felt that was the best way to go with the information that I had, since I had prostate cancer in my family background. So I had the prostate surgery done. Then after that, when I asked the doctor, now what? He said, well, you have a month, and then we'll test your PSA again, and we'll see if it is rising, then you'll need radiation. I said, what should I do between now and 1 month? He said, well, just go home, everything regular, eat regular, normal life. But when I got home, I contacted somebody I knew who had practiced alternative therapy, specifically the Gershom diet. So I put myself on the Gershom diet the best I knew how, without any help, and worked at it for about 2 weeks. It was very strenuous to do that diet. It was all day long. And so I finally called my friend and asked for some help. I realized after about 10 days, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm up against something that is very big, and I'm getting tired already. It's only been 10 days. So I called him up, and he was a naturopath doctor and had been at it for about 20 years. He called himself the end-of-the-line doctor. He said, when all the other doctors can't treat somebody, they get sent to me, and I treat them. So I contacted him, and I began getting weekly mentoring on how to carry out the Gershom diet. He began teaching me about how to eat, how to juice, coffee enemas, many things that would affect my lifestyle. I was very grateful because I had somebody I could talk to. And I would say that was the most important thing at that stage of my journey, to have somebody I could bounce 1,000 questions off of and receive good, thoughtful, intelligent, scientific answers. Very shortly after that help that I received from that mentor, I was given the videos of the Quest for the Truth About Cancer by Ty Bollinger, by a friend of mine who also had cancer and was beating it. He was not yet out of the woods, but he was beating it, and he was given no hope. He came to my house. He cooked my first vegan meal. I said, oh, this is great. My wife and I received a big infusion of hope and inspiration. He left his frying pans with me and said, throw your Teflon frying pans away. He left me a set of frying pans, and he introduced me to Ty Bollinger's course or videos on the quest for cancer, the truth about cancer. My wife and I watched those 9 videos, one after another, and we were glued to them, and I watched them again because I was receiving what I needed the most at that point. I needed information. I needed something other than your only course of action is first, prostate surgery, second, radiation, and maybe later down the line, chemotherapy or something of that. I was given 1, 2, 3. That was it. And so with those 9 videos, I was hearing of so many alternative ways that cancer was being treated and being treated successfully. And scientific research was being done all over the world. And I felt a breath of fresh air came into me. With that knowledge, I then had hope, how I could cooperate with my body for the healing of my body from cancer. I'm now 3.5 years down the line. I have been very faithfully following the vegan diet, actually the plant-based whole food diet, for these 3.5 years. I would say 90%, something like that, 95%. And doing my exercises. And during this time, my PSA has stayed at a certain level. But then it began to rise. And I think that happened at a certain juncture when I had to travel abroad for 2 months. became a little bit not careless, but was not able to be as careful at all about my lifestyle, my diet, and my exercise in particular. Well, when I came back and they measured my PSA, it had risen to the point where they said, that's where I'm going to need radiation. So at that point, I learned of a new innovative therapy being practiced in Mexico, which is called inductor therapy. These doctors learned this in Europe, where 27 years of investigation has been going on, and they have developed a peptide, which they call an inductor. It is induced into you, and that inductor causes the multiplication of the stem cells, very much like what happens in a fetus during the first 3 months of its life. The stem cells are multiplying by the trillions. So I was considering getting stem cell therapy, but instead of taking the stem cells out of my fat or out of an umbilical cord, they inject what they call an inductor into you, and it begins to work to cause the multiplication of your stem cells. So I went to Mexico City and did that for 4 months. After the 4 months, I came back and checked my PSA again. It had not risen. Before that, it doubled in 3 months. But during the next 4 months, it had not risen, but it did not go down. So now my doctor suggested I should go forward probably and get radiation. So I'm now in this situation. I'm doing it more intensely. I'm doing the exercise more intensely, everything more intensely. The diet therapy, I'm taking the inductor therapy. But one thing I found out, which I didn't know when I was started on the inductor therapy, he told me, if you do not do a very good detox, this therapy will not work. You have to eliminate still what's there. Even after 3.5 years of practicing whole food, plant-based diet, you have to eliminate whatever is still there because the inductors are not able to bring that PSA down. And he says, it will bring it down. So right now I'm in this interval, and I'm so thankful. I've had about a month working at it. I'll get my PET scan tomorrow, but before I'm going to sign for anything of radiation, I'm going to give it one more shot. I want to see if it's possible through the full cooperation with this alternative options that have been given to me, if I can turn this PSA around and bring it down, as these alternative medicine practitioners and doctors have told me is very possible. My number one recommendation for a cancer patient that has been recently diagnosed would be to get all the information you can. When they send the space shuttle up, they build a large platform and very deep foundation of concrete. So when one endeavors on this fight against cancer, you need a good base of knowledge and understanding. Otherwise, you will not have the inward strength and faith and hope to press forward when the times get tough. So we need to get online. We need to maybe go to seminars. We need to read books. We need to be in contact with people that have gone down this journey further than us. We need to listen and learn, and we need to discern. Many times I found myself praying and saying, God, there are many voices out there, and I'm not sure which ones I should listen to, and I'm not sure which ones I should believe, and I'm not sure which ones I should implement into my lifestyle. So it's good to hear everything, and then it's good to quietly, and I would say even prayerfully, seek what should I incorporate into my lifestyle for my part of the journey. Don't make some radical change until you're fully convinced and assured how to take this and practice it. Because to do things in a wild way or a reckless way can also be dangerous. So we need to be wise, and we need to be discerning, and we need to be open. Some things sound like they're just a crazy idea. It would never work. Sometimes those crazy ideas have a lot of scientific basis behind it. So we need to be open to learn from others.